Have you ever felt like you've been running as fast as you can, but somehow staying in the same place? I know that feeling because a goal that should have taken me 30 days took me a year and a half. And along the way, I failed multiple exams, sometimes even 3 times. And the biggest lesson wasn't even about insurance, it was about ambition. When I was 18 and I finished high school, I came out confused, didn't know what to do, didn't believe in college. But then someone I had a conversation with told me, you can do this job, you can make thousands of dollars a month, and you do paperwork that takes maybe a couple hours. I looked at him, I'm like, I don't care what it is, sign me up. And I signed up, I looked at it, and I realized I had to learn. And I never really liked learning. Learning was always like a hate for me. I hated learning. And if I tried to read it, I couldn't read a book if my life depended on it. And reading or doing schoolwork was always like an impossible mission for me. Now I realize like learning stuff that has no meaning to me is what I hated, not the learning itself. Because I've always loved self-improvement. And one of the reasons I believe why it took me so long to get on this like licensing journey, what took me long is I gave myself too much time to achieve it. That's what happens when you set goals without or goals, ambition, without giving yourself, when you give yourself too much time. When you give yourself too much time, the goal just becomes a wish because you're not giving yourself urgency. That's why I believe like people don't fail because they lack ambition. They fail because they never become the person the goal requires them to. And I spent years thinking I had an ambition problem. Looking back, I had an identity problem. I wanted the future without becoming the person becoming capable of it or creating it. And the framework that I believe to achieve any ambition, any goal in your lifetime is vision, attention, action, faith. Vision, whatever you're trying to accomplish, okay, you need to see what you want to actually do, what you think you can, what you think you're capable of doing within a year or two. Attention, what gives attention to a goal is maybe putting not too much of a timeline, maybe putting a year or two, just depending on the goal. And action, you gotta be consistent with whatever habits that you're doing to require you to hit that goal or become really close to achieving it. Faith, sometimes it's gonna get bad, sometimes you're gonna feel drained in life, and sometimes like you won't feel like you're succeeding. But when you go to God and you tell him and you can be honest and you can let God, you need to involve God with your journey. Because when you do that, it's just more chance of you being emotionally stable and having a chance of higher success. What goal have you been talking about for years that should have taken months? And what habits are you protecting it that are keeping it from becoming reality?